Hello, welcome back to Ginny's. I'm Ginny and today I'm going to be showing you how to do a Christmas chocolate biscuit cake. Now, chocolate biscuit cake, huge thing in Ireland. I absolutely love it. I always use it around Christmas for my models, for my cakes, and it just, because of the structure of them, it's just brilliant. I love it and everybody loves chocolate. So what I've done this time is I've taken the standard chocolate biscuit cake and decided to put a little twist on it, and I thought, why not make chocolate biscuit cake a Christmas cake? So I've taken the ingredients from a Christmas cake and popped them into chocolate. I mean, who isn't gonna like that? So all of my ingredients for this will be in the V just here. Just click that down, you can screenshot it, do as you like. And to make this, I'm going to be using this biscuit cake liner, and this makes life so much easier. Before, I used to struggle with getting it in and out, getting it smooth around the outside. I had to ganache it and everything, and I don't need to do that with this. So this is a liner, comes like this, comes open, and you just use a clip that there is. Also have this really nice base that you pop in as well. So I put that into there. I'm going to show you exactly how to use this, but once you have one of these, so it makes everything so simple, and you get those really sharp edges, which we all love and try to get. So brilliant. Let's get started. Bring you over to the hob, talk you through all the ingredients there, show you how simple this is, because we are not going to be putting anything in the oven, and I'll see you over there in a sec. Right, you can see I've got an array of ingredients here. The first thing is everything is done over a bain-marie, or a water boiler, whatever you call it. Now I've got water in the bottom there. You can see there when I do this how much I have in. I haven't got a lot, that's probably an inch. The reason, you cannot have it touching the bottom of your bowl. So my bowl is just going to sit over the top, and my water is right down here, and there's no chance. Chocolate burns really easily. Well, it doesn't burn. Once it gets too hot, it will separate. And once it does that, you've got to add like milk and stuff, and you just don't get it back to the same structure. So this is a really good process, but you have to do it slow. So I've got butter, so I'm going to pop in all my butter. Don't forget all the ingredients are in that drop down. I've also got chocolate, being as it's called chocolate biscuit cake, and golden syrup. And all of these are going in. Now my hob there goes up to number 9, and I've got mine on number 6. We do not want to do this really fast because of that chocolate. We want to make sure it stays really silky and lovely, and it's going to give you a really silky outer layer. And I'm just going to wait for about 2 or 3 minutes before I even start to stir it. So I'll come back to you in about 2 or 3 minutes. See you in a sec. Okay, so a couple of minutes. Let's see, because the golden syrup is so sticky. But you can see it's starting to melt across the bottom there, but nothing is really overly happening. So we want to leave it alone again, and it will just do its own thing. So I think this is going to take around about another 3 minutes to really do anything. So I will be back. Right, that's another couple of minutes, and you can see it's starting to melt all through here. So what I want to do is just give it a bit of a stir for the stuff on the top to get to the bottom, so it is a bit more distributed throughout. Doesn't it start looking so nice? So here you can see it's pretty much melted, and we don't want to take it much more because we don't want that split to happen. So I'm going to put my spices in for my Christmasness. Now obviously if you're not doing a Christmas one, you wouldn't put these spices in. You would just leave it. Oh, the smell. So, okay, this is very nearly done. So turn off the heat on your oven, just on your stove, just to make sure there that it doesn't go over. So we're just going to turn it off and leave for the minute. You'll see as soon as these big bits of butter start to melt, you'll know that you're so nearly there. Right, I just took mine off the top of the saucepan, and it's so nearly done. You can see that there's still butter running through it. That's the way you want it to be. If you don't play with it too much, you're just gonna leave the heat in there, and that is just gonna melt all on its own, and that's where you want it. You wanna make sure that it's not all completely 100% melted, because then you know at this point you're not gonna take it over. So we've got the mixed spice in there. We're now gonna put the orange across the top, just because that little bit of heat that's in there is just going to help. And let's see. There we go. Brilliant. That is completely done. Now look at that. There's no split on it. If by any chance you have taken it that little bit too far and it looks like the oils have come up through the top here, then you can just add a tablespoon of milk, to cold milk, and keep stirring it up and it will come back. Okay? But that is done. So that should have cooled right down. It does come cool quite quickly. So I'm now just going to pop in my mixed fruit. Now I have used this here, which is a Christmas pudding fruit mix. So that's what you want. It's just got everything in there that you would put, as I said, in a Christmas cake, and that's what's going into this. So far we've got our spices, we've got the orange zest, and then we have that. So this is a biscuit cake, so we need biscuits. So I've used shortbread for this just because I think that reminds me of Christmas, but you could use whatever you like for this. You could use gingerbread, you could use digestives, you can do what you like, but I just liked the idea of the shortbread, so I'm going to use a whole pack of these and just crunch them in. Okay, so some of them are a bit bigger than others. Maybe do those in threes so that they're not all so big, and then give that a stir in. Brilliant. So there we are. Now some people like it to be a lot biscuitier than that, but I don't. So really I give you the recipe for this and I'm giving you the amount, but you can add as much biscuit and as much of anything else as you like. Next we're going with chocolate. So I just got one of these because they're always on offer at this time of the year, and it gives me a variation. So just open it up and make sure that it's not all that warm, because obviously the outside of your chocolate's going to melt off straight away, but I know mine's cooled. Right, I am happy. I'm just going to leave that there for the moment. I'm going to turn you back round, clean this up, then I'm going to show you how to use the biscuit tin liner. You'll love this. See you in a moment. Right, so biscuits here. Let's talk about this now. So we are going to be using this cake tin liner. Brilliant. 100% recyclable as well, which is fab. You get this liner, a clip so you can hold it in the right place, and this brilliant bottom liner as well, right, just to secure and to keep it there, and that is reusable as well. You can just wash this off, so everything is just super easy. So what you need to do is put this in, and these come in all different sizes, and you can see me doing that in here. You don't want any, you want to make sure this is as pushed out to the sides as possible. I've made this mistake. I did this and I didn't do it tight enough to the outside of the cake tin, and it oozed out and it got stuck in, and that was my fault. So holding it out there as tight as I possibly can, and then I'm going to put on, there we go, that's lovely and tight now. Okay, so what I've done as well is to make sure that that leakage doesn't happen is, look at this now. We've had this, but I've left this on the side since I was cleaning up and everything. I've left that for 20 minutes. And if you can see now, it's not quite as liquid. Now, if you put it straight into the liner that's liquid, obviously it's not completely sealed at the bottom and it's gonna come up like this through the sides and then you're gonna stick. So make sure that you wait and you just let it come to form a little bit. Then we're gonna pop it in. So, as easy as, she says, picking it up. I'm on tiptoes, I'm not tall enough. I'm popping this in, look at all that. Wow, 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 wow. Right, get all of this out, don't waste it. And there we are. Okay, right, so now we've got to get this all in. Now obviously if you put it in wetter, you'd think, oh, it would just make life easier because it will just pour in better, but honestly, I promise you, with getting this out, it's so much easier just to wait. Patience. Okay. So obviously this bit at the bottom is going to be the top because it's going to be super, super sharp from where we've put it in. But there is nothing else we can do with this now apart from wait until the morning. So I'm going to give it a little bang just to make sure that it's all there in the bottom and a jiggle wiggle. There we go. Look how beautiful that is. I mean, obviously ignore the mess and my hands, but we're gonna put this overnight in the fridge because then you know 100% it's completely solid, and I'm gonna fondant it, and that is going to give me a super, super brilliant base for it. So I will see you in the morning. Bye-bye. Good morning and welcome back to Ginny's again. It's the next day and we have got this lovely biscuit cake in the liner. It's been in all night and it is really solid. If I give it a little upside down, look, it's coming out, it's coming out. If for some reason you put it in a little bit too wet and it's got caught, just put in a knife, like a palette knife in, and just pull out around the sides. But so long as you've not put it in when it's too wet and you've really pushed out, it's going to slide out so easily. So this is how mine looks now, okay? I'm just going to bring you in closer again and I'm going to show you, I'm going to put some melted chocolate across the top just to show you that if you want this to rest on a board, if I was to put a cake board, because this is the bottom, this part, because when we flip it upside down, obviously that's the bottom. So this won't sit on a card properly. It's a little bit skew-whiffy and I want to fondant it, so I want a really smooth edge on both sides. So this is fab. Underneath here it's going to be super sharp, and then I just want to make sure that the bottom sits properly. So I'll move you in and show you putting the melted chocolate across the top. Right, so where's the best way you can see it? There we go. Okay, so here you can see that it's a little bit bumpy. Alright, so like I said, that wouldn't quite sit on the card. So I've just got some chocolate here. This will be in with all the ingredients and I'm just melted it. I'm going to pop it over the top here. There we go. And then just give this, put this to one side, give this a little bit of a swirl around, just like this. Because it's so melted, it'll find its way around on its own. Make sure you get all of those edges in. You see I've got a little bit there, just move that up. I've got some air pockets on the bottom there. And then, just give it a bang. And as you can see then now, this has, I've got a tiny little bit up here and here, but that's not going to make a lot of difference. But this now is completely flat, and this is going to give me that really secure bottom that I'm going to need to rest it on a cake card. So back in the fridge with that, give it another hour to make sure this is fully set, and then we are ready to go. Right, here we go, dead excited. Time to get this out. So it's all smooth all across the top. So now I am going to remove the clip, turn this upside down, slide that out, this a spin. Take this off. Pop that there. And then on my bottom part, before I spin the other bit over, I am just going to take a knife and just any of the bits that I had hanging over the edge, because I want this to sit on the board nicely, or whatever it is that you're putting it on. And then I've also got just a little bit sticking up there, so I'm just going to smooth that part off. Right, and then pop that onto there, and you can see this sits really flush and lovely now. And take that off, and look at this. Look at that sharp edge. Now I'm just going to get a bench scraper, bear with me. Okay, so I've got my bench scraper here, and you want to make sure all of this is done when this is cold, because you get such definition when things are cold. So I put it on my cake board just here. Now with this cake board here, I do need to stick it on, but I will do that in a moment. Right, so then I am just going to come around just to make any of the bits that have come over the top, just taking those off. I've also got some ganache there on the side. Now if I'd have used my turntable it would have been easier, wouldn't it? But I didn't. Okay, so you can see already this has just pulled this right up, any of those little bits that I had hanging over, but it is just so sharp. Look, absolutely excellent, the top of that, and it's so glossy. So I've got here some ganache. Now I've used water ganache, and that's on a 6:1. So I'll put that in the description box as well. So I am just going to go around and fill up a couple of little holes, which you're naturally going to get. Okay, now I'm going to get my scraper and just give this a scrape all the way around. I'm just going to slice off these little bits that I have made a mess of. Oh, there you go, look. Just comes off now because it's dried so quickly. And I am ecstatically pleased with this. So I hope you have really, really enjoyed this. Have a go at the biscuit cake. I'm going to put up some different ways of how to use this and some Christmas ideas of what to do once it's been fondanted, and enjoy. So there we have a super straight, really, really simple way of making biscuit cake, and with a stunning smell and taste of Christmas. So I will see you really, really soon. You take care. Bye bye.